it's complicated. I mean, obviously, if you're threatened with your own survival or the survival of your species, I guess you eventually have to fight. I do not enjoy fighting, shooting at people. I would hope that the powers that be would be able to talk it out, try to figure something out. But gosh, personally, I would probably try to gather all of my loved ones together and try to figure out some kind of solution. Because I'm not coming up with one. Just get a bunch of smarter people together and say, hey, what should we do, guys? Yeah, exactly. And then probably see if we could find some kind of island somewhere and get us there and then leave us alone.
Mm-hmm. So who is someone that you look up to?
Oh, boy. I have a lot of people that I look up to. One of the first people that I really looked up to that was really important to me in my formative years as a teenager was Kurt Cobain. I initially just loved his music, and I loved Nirvana, and I wore Nirvana shirts all day and every day, and loved that music, and I loved his lyrics and everything like that. But really, his interviews were what got me. I mean, I really learned a lot about. It was interesting. He didn't take anything that was kind of silly seriously. He didn't take like the idea of being a rock star seriously. He didn't put on leather and think he was super cool and do all the stuff that all the Motley Crues and those guys had done before, and just be kind of like a gross jerk essentially. He went to Headbangers Ball in a full ball gown dress, and he just kind of made fun of everyone who was trying to. Didn't make fun of them in a mean-spirited way, but just was like, this is all sort of silly. I'm just a person, and I really liked that he, especially in the world of rock and roll, that he stood up for women, especially, and he, I guess the thing that I liked about him is that he was a sensitive guy. I mean, incredibly sensitive, almost to the point of not being able to exist in this world. Sensitive, but he also wasn't just like a pushover. He had his convictions and he had his ideas, and he would stand up for what he believed in. But it was all for the purpose of making the world, a better place. He said there's some. I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have it right here with me, but in the liner notes of Incesticide, which was the album that came out right after Nevermind, he had this whole section where he said, if any of you out there hate women, people of color, homosexuals, do us a favor, leave us alone, don't come to our shows, don't buy our records. And I thought that was so cool, because I'm sure he lost a couple, prejudiced people who said, well, whoa, this guy likes those kind of people, or, then I'm not going to support him. And, most people trying to sell records and make it big to say, hey, anybody's welcome, believe whatever you want, and, just listen to the music and buy my stuff. And I don't know. He was a big influence on me. And then, also the Beatles and just generally what they stand for.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So let's see. If you were an actor, what would you be?
If I was an actor, what would I be?
You weren't.
Oh, if I was, I was like, ouch. If I wasn't an actor, what would I be?
If you had to choose something else, if actor was not the choice, if there was no such thing as actors, what would you do?
I think I would. I think I would try to. Gosh, I wonder if maybe I would be a psychologist or a social worker or something. I mean, my thing is I love people and I'm fascinated by people, so it would have to be something that involved working with people and talking to them and jumping into their world and their minds and trying to help them or figure out something to do. Yeah, yeah, I mean, gosh, it's a good question.
Questions here.
It is. They're great. So I like them. Yeah, I would love to think. I would like to think that maybe I'll do that stuff anyway someday.
Yeah. Definitely. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I have one more question, and this is a really tough one. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? Have you ever? It's a two-part question.
Okay.
Have you ever had Jelly Belly jelly beans?
Oh yes.
Okay, so that's part number one. Good, you answered that because if you were a Jelly Belly jelly bean, what flavor would you be and why? Tough question. Toughest question I'm going to ask all day.
Gosh, that is a tough question. Okay, let's see. Well, gosh, that's a great question. There's so many different ways I could go.
Buttered popcorn, if that would help.
You would be buttered popcorn?
Yes.
I was thinking about that because some people.
It's different.
It's totally different. You're like, I can't believe this is it definitely stands out. You know, it's like there are a bunch of Jelly Bellies. If you put a handful in your mouth, which why would you do that? But if you did do that, you would definitely say, oh, I have a buttered popcorn in there. But be like, oh, is that a watermelon? You know, you wouldn't necessarily know. Watermelon is also interesting because that is one where they have gone for like the color scheme that it's green on the outside and red on the inside much more than the flavor. But then there's juicy pear, which is so it's so accurate and it's like the fruit. You know what? Maybe I would be roasted marshmallow.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Why? Tougher question now.
Because. Well, first of all, my complexion, I have sort of like freckles and stuff like that. I kind of look like that Jelly Belly. I'm pale with freckles. And, I don't know, this is the Jelly Belly that we would hope we would be, right? Not like how other people would see us. Just like,
no, we hope.
I first had a roasted marshmallow Jelly Belly. It really reminded me of a lot of great things, like my camp experiences and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I would hope that I would remind someone of someone that they had a nice experience with or something like that. But then it's like, but this is just a Jelly Belly. The actual roasted marshmallow that I had was much better. So it's like, oh, that thing kind of reminds me of this real thing that I enjoyed at that point.
Well, that was a good answer.
Thanks.
All right, let's see.
That's a good question. I like it.
I know. So I should be a reporter one day.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. I think that is basically most of the questions that I had to ask.
All right.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Like, I really
Thank you
appreciate it. I know the fans will appreciate it. And thank you so much for giving us some more hope.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for continue the event and having that be a thing. I really appreciate that. And we are, as soon as I know anything, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if it doesn't, if for some reason the event gets canceled, I'll make sure to corner the creator and make him tell us all what the event was going to be.
Good. I like that idea too. All right. Well, I think I'm going to stop this now. All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you, Nicole.
Nice to meet you too, Jason.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.